everybody. My name is Emma,
And I'm Jana.
and we're the co founders of Quillmates, a platform that provides a new innovative way to help creators share stories and monetize through their work. Simplified, we're a website that gives creators a place to publish their work, collaborate with others on a story, and we also incorporate cryptocurrency and blockchain to allow users to tip their favorite writers with the possibility of earning based on future tippers. Pretty much everybody knows how hard it is to be a full time author. Every manuscript needs to be polished to perfection before finding an agent to represent you and your work. The entire creating process can take years and possibly still end in failure. And if you're self publishing, well, that's kind of all on you. You're going to need to find an editor, a formatter, a cover designer, another editor, and just so many more people. That's not to mention how little money authors actually make from each book sold. And even that is just scratching the surface of writing. Before authors get to the publication stage, they have to write the actual book first, and that poses its own bag of challenges. Many excellent story ideas are discarded because loss of motivation or writer's block, in which the writer can't combat.
So, if you want to pursue writing as a career, you only really have three viable options. So, you can publish your work either traditionally or indie. You can become a freelance writer and earn when gigs come through, which we all know it's super hard to earn from gigs. Or you can join a writing platform and hope that you're good enough to join their paid stories program, which is the hardest of the three options. So, in conclusion, it's hard to live as a full time author, and that's the problem we want to change. The evolution of creative writing plus the way writers work has changed since the 2000s, and that's why platforms like Wattpad, Inkit, and Dream simply don't work anymore. They're huge platforms that allow writers to post their stories and hope that the algorithm is in their favor so they may gather a small audience of readers. Not to mention that monetizing is near impossible for an average writer.
So, what's Quillmates, and what do we do differently that sets us apart from all of our competitors? Well, put short, Quillmates is a digital publishing platform that focuses on building a storytelling ecosystem by connecting and giving everybody involved in the writing process a chance to earn based on their contributions. Our value proposition is made up of the four C's: collaboration, community, connection, and currency. At Quillmates, we believe that the best stories are made by multiple minds. So we're adding in an innovative element of collaboration to the world of creative writing. So in a way, it's similar to Wattpad in the way that writers can post their stories and gather a small audience of readers. But now on Quillmates, our platform, you can collaborate with other writers, just like GitHub structure if you're familiar with that. And of course, a place to connect with like-minded individuals and connect with readers is essential for writers to thrive, which is why we've built a forum-based community straight into our platform. As for connection, we connect everybody on our platform and not just readers to writers. There are so many more people involved in the writing process that meets the outside eye, and we want to bring all of them to Quillmates. And of course, currency, or in our case, cryptocurrency. On our platform, we allow everybody to earn using our coin Quill, also known as Quill Coins. Users can use these coins to tip stories they love and also earn from the tips of future tippers. Cryptocurrency can be traded in for cash value on centralized exchange platforms like Coinbase or decentralized platforms like SushiSwap or TSwap. And altogether, the four C's create the writing ecosystem, which we strive to create and maintain.
So just to show you a little bit of how our platform works, here is how collaboration works. Let me just share my screen real quick. Um, so here we have our prototype. And please don't mind the white space at the top. It's just a prototype, so that shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, what you want to do is you want to go down to the story you want to work on, or maybe I want to work on this story. And then what you want to do is go down here. You should see some bars here. You click on requests, and then you're supposed to click on make a request, but I just want to share with you how requests work first. So basically, when you want to work with an author on their story, what you want to do is go to their story. You send a request with changes you've made because you cannot access their story directly. So let's click on make a request here. You should see this message at the top. This is your own copy of the story. Make any changes you'd like to it and then send your request. So here we're going to make some changes to our chapter. And then we make some changes, blah, blah, blah. We click on save, and then we click on send request. It sends you this message which asks if you really want to send a request, which we do. You give your request a title because it needs to be distinguished from other requests, and you click on send. So
Yeah,
that's
and that
basically how, sorry, so that's basically how collaboration works on our platform.
Yeah, and that's just a little walkthrough or a little showcase of how our actual platform works. We have so many more features that we're super excited to release to the world in the future.
And we have the numbers to back up the fact that we can grow a large and profitable user base. Wattpad, our biggest competitor, sold for 600 million back in 2018. As of 2019, they have 90 million users on their platform and 400 million story uploads. Goodreads also has similar numbers at 90 million members as of 2019. So this proves that there is an audience for Quillmates. To make things even better, we have a one-up on our competitors, as we have direct access to the younger generation of writers, because we're part of that generation, whereas our competitors don't quite know how to appeal to teens. So in conclusion, we're seeing progress each passing day, and we hope to build a product that will positively impact the entire world of creative writing in the future. So thank you for listening. And also, if you want to check out Quillmates itself, I'll just paste the links of some of our stuff here. So our Instagram is at Quillmates. Our website is www.quillmates.com. And our email address is quillmates@gmail.com. Thank you.
Yes, y'all have gotten it down so polished. Well done, you two. Carly?
Wow, what a great presentation. Emma, when I heard you were coming back, couldn't wait to see what you brought to the table, and you just rose way above what I expected. And I think that you are very dynamic, and your partnerships with your partners are very interesting, and the two of you together have this wonderful dynamic we talked about earlier. So there's a lot to unpack. I love the 4 C's, always a good selling point. I love that you are capitalizing on being part of your peer group as being your value proposition, which is what differentiates you from your competitors. So that's always a bonus and a plus. My question is, what method will you use to build your community for your storytelling ecosystem? Like, what is going to be your marketing strategy to build your community of your peers?
Yeah, so as for marketing, we have a lot of different methods because we basically grew up in the social media world, so we're pretty familiar with how like all marketing and digital marketing works. So right now we're active on Instagram. That's our main social media, and we actually just started launching a Discord server, I believe like a week or even a few days ago. So our plan is to just gather an existing user base of potential users on Discord, because we actually tried using an MVP, but we had some technical issues, so we decided to shift it over to a platform that teens are more familiar with, just like Discord. And so we basically have them there. We host a bunch of events just to keep them super engaged. We post more Quillmates updates. And once we actually do have a platform to launch, we can just like move them all over and we can kind of announce it. And that's just so we have an existing user base, so we don't have to go all out on marketing when we first launch.
Stephanie?
So, yeah. So, hi, Emma and Jana. I'm in the industry that you're talking about entering here. And what this reminded me of was like a progressive novel in high school where you team up 2 high schools and they work on the same, or you can team up a whole school district and pass the novel around to all the high schools. And it ends up being some crazy story, because every high school puts their own, every English class puts their own angle on it. It also reminded me that it struck me that it would be a good training for anyone who wants to be a screenwriter or go to a writer's room for TV, because all of that is done in teams. And this is essentially team writing. It's like a progressive novel or a writing as a team. And this is popular in certain subgenres in certain parts of the publishing or broadcast industry. So I see it as good training. The part that I don't understand, because I come from the old style publishing industry, is who owns the material, who owns the intellectual property. So if you have like 20 people working on a book, how does that work? Tell me how that works out.
Yeah. So Coffee Around a Platform, it's really similar to how Wattpad does theirs, because they're always like they are always like a digital storytelling platform just like we are as well. So when you publish anything to the web, you basically take on the liabilities of copyright, and we do have like, I think, yeah, Jana didn't show it in the prototype walkthrough, but there's a section when you have your story, you can edit some details. There's a section for copyright as well, so you can set what sort of copyright that your story belongs to. As for contributions, it doesn't necessarily have to be text-based, because that's kind of what we showed in our prototype. But in the future, we're thinking of having like user repositories, if you want to think about it that way. So let's say graphic designers, or let's say if I'm a graphic designer and I'm not a writer, so I can't contribute text per se, but I can draw really great character portraits. So instead of like editing or like adding on a new chapter, which you can certainly do, I can add on like my own skills, which is like graphic design. I can draw characters and kind of like save them back to the original author. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like text based. But I guess like to answer your question, it's really just up to the original author and how they want to set that up. I think Jana also mentioned in the prototype walkthrough that you have to like save, and then the original author can see all the requests. They can choose which types to like accept, which types to decline, and they can also have the option to make contributors co-authors if they choose to.
Okay, so it's up to whoever put the story up first.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, but the incentive for others to come in is monetary, right? Because they're all getting tipped for bringing in their content.
Yeah, so the incentive mainly for just like contributing, it can be monetary, but we're not actually monetizing strictly off of like how much you contribute to a story. The way we're monetizing, at least through our whole like built on top of blockchain and our whole cryptocurrency thing, is by voting. So that's actually a bit different from contributing. So when you vote, you're basically, well, I won't say buying shares because that's a lot different. But when you're tipping, you're basically like giving, I guess, like thanks to the author and like all the contributors or the future and past tippers, and you get a chance to monetize from all the future tippers based on how much you share.
Okay. One last thing, I really like that your market is identified as teens or YA. I think that's really smart. It's specific, and I think that works.
Awesome job, Emma and Jana or Jana?
Sorry, it's Jana.
Jana, awesome job. Emma, once again, you blew me away. Jana, you blew me away as well. Really quick, Scott, he said that it's 7 or it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Where are you? Where are you?
Oh, sorry, I am from the Philippines.
You're from the Philippines.
Yes.
You are a great friend. I applaud you for being up. You have inspired me right now because you're about to get your day started as we're closing hours out. So I have my question is, you guys have put a lot of time and effort into this. You are extremely knowledgeable. You have done your research. So you've done your time and effort. So what I want to know is, what's your goal revenue? What are you planning to get? What are you planning to get in return from this? What is your revenue that you're looking to get from this?
Yeah, so for the first year, I mean, it's always like super hard to earn within the first year, but maybe we can apply this during the second year. We're hoping to earn anywhere around 18,000 just based on calculations that we made.
Okay.
Yeah, our financial forecast or revenue forecasting model is still like really tentative because we still have to do a bit more market research and just like ask around for feedback, especially from those who are actually experienced in that field. Because right now we just kind of like plug in numbers with some like background knowledge and logic behind it, but we definitely do have to like check with other people to get more reasonable estimates in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Super impressive. I love the positive vibes and the positive energy that you both have. So we're very impressive. And this is, I learned a lot from your presentation. I don't know a lot about this sector, so thank you for educating us. A couple of questions. Who created your prototype?
It was me. I'm like super into design, so.
Yeah, very impressive, very impressive. And then when are you hoping to launch, and what are your the steps that you need to take in order to launch?
Yeah, so we're hoping to actually, the thing is we're not launching all the features right away, just because our team is mostly students, and it's kind of hard to just like start working aggressively and grinding and just like getting everything out there, which we do want to do. But we want to launch in bits. So we're hoping to launch the community aspect. So basically, we do have forums. That's the community aspect, and we're hoping to launch that in late 2021. The book publishing collaboration features we're hopefully going to launch in 2022. And then the tipping feature, it's pretty much tentative, but we're also hoping to do it at least next year or 2023 at most. And I guess steps we need to take, well, we're definitely gonna need to do a lot more market research, just because it's never like you can't ever like do too much. Definitely building a community. We are building a community on Instagram and Discord currently, but we're hoping to grow an even bigger community. And I guess another thing we do want to figure out our financials.
And y'all are pitching to Y Combinator, is that correct?
Yes.
When is that coming up?
Hopefully.
So the deadline, I believe, is March 19th. We're pretty much done with the application. We have to review it with a few more people, but we're super excited to apply to that.